Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can see by the title, we are going to be making a DIY pumpkin stack today. I got all these pumpkins from Michael's, and as you can see, I am just ripping off the top stem of a couple of these pumpkins. The two bigger ones, I was able to just rip those off, but as for the two smaller ones, we ended up having to use a knife to cut them off. As you can tell, we are trying to hot glue the pumpkins together right now, but that didn't actually end up working. It just didn't want to stick together. You'll be able to tell from this video too that there was a lot of trials and errors, but we wanted to include that just so you could see what we went through with trying to build this stack ourselves. Since the hot glue didn't end up working, you can see that we just decided to start picking off the residue from the hot glue. We ended up finding some cake pop sticks in my craft supplies that we decided to try to hold the pumpkins together with, which this actually worked. We just had to reposition them a couple times. As you can see, we put 4 in the middle of that big pumpkin to hold on the next layer. Also, when you're doing this, you want to make sure your sticks are more centered in your pumpkins, that way you're not able to see them once you're finished. What we're trying to do here is we're trying to make some small indents in that pumpkin. That way we can just poke them through the white pumpkin and then push them back through the holes we've already made for the big orange pumpkin. What I'm doing here is just pulling out all of the orange cake pop sticks to hopefully mask the sticks just a little bit more. As you can see, they are just the Wilton candy melt sticks. This is the knife that we used to cut off the stem of this pumpkin, since it wasn't able to just be ripped off. But you can use any kind of knife, just as long as you are being careful and you don't cut yourself in the process. Thankfully, we did not. When that stem actually ended up popping off, it scared me a little bit, but you basically just kind of had to cut a little slit around the edge, and it ended up popping right off. Now we're just checking to make sure that the black pumpkin is going to sit nice and flush on top of the other one, and we decided to end up trying to cut off a little bit more. I scooted the pumpkins a little bit so you could see our dog Simba just peeking his head over the table watching us. And when he cut off that stem, he ended up finding out that this pumpkin was actually hollow on the inside. With that lighter orange pumpkin being hollow on the inside, we needed to measure our sticks to make sure they were going to be long enough to go from the white pumpkin to the black pumpkin. And we didn't think they were, so we ended up finding these other thicker and longer dowel sticks that we decided to put through the white pumpkin so that they could reach the black one. And while you're trying to push these through, make sure you're being careful because I ended up snapping one in half. It was actually a little difficult to see what we were doing trying to get these through the two pumpkins. And this is where we realized we might as well just pull off this lighter orange pumpkin and put the holes through the white one and then just slide the pumpkin back on top the holes that we've already made. I'm just using the knife to kind of trim up the excess pieces from the holes that we popped through that pumpkin just so it's easier to push them back through. As we were getting ready to put on the black pumpkin, we ended up deciding to put in another dowel rod just for a little extra support. Here are the wooden dowels that we ended up using to hold the layers together. We found them in my craft supplies box, but I believe I got them from Walmart. He had made some indents in the black pumpkin with the sticks that were already in the other pumpkins, and then just pulled it off and used an extra stick that we had to pop the holes through. That was easier to put it together. We decided to just pull those dowel rods out. That way we could hot glue them to the black pumpkin to add a little bit of extra support so that they weren't just easily pulled off. You just want to make sure that your sticks are all the same length and you want to make sure you get hot glue all the way around them. This is also much easier having somebody hold the pumpkin in place. That way it's just not wobbling all around on you, and you can keep your sticks as straight as possible. I ended up doing 2 layers around them just to kind of make sure I had enough support for the sticks to stay standing. After we got all the glue on there, we just let it sit for about 10 minutes to make sure it got hard enough that we wouldn't still just pull it right off. Now we are just trying to get the dowel rods through the lighter orange pumpkin. That way we can stick both of those on top of the white pumpkin. Now you just want to line up your dowel rods with the holes you've already made into the white pumpkin, and you'll just push them together. After getting that part done, we decided to pull those 3 off and toss the candy melt sticks off to the side and just use the other thicker dowel rods that we had still. That way it was a little more sturdy. And just like the other sticks with the other layer, I hot glued around these sticks just to make sure that they stayed in place. As you can see, you just want to make sure you have a decent amount around your sticks. After you let those sit and dry for a little bit, you can stick your other 3 pumpkins back on top. And there you have it. That's our DIY pumpkin stack. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks again for watching. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button. See you guys next time.